and welcome to my kitchen. It's Thursday, so what are we doing? We're cooking. Thank you and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. We're going into book 4 today, which is such a fabulous book. I mean, the bonus sections in book 4 is party food. So just remember that. Every book has a bonus section in it. Now, what are we making? We're not going to party food. We're going into the front with the starter light meals, and I'm making pizza pasta bake. I love a pasta bake because you chuck it in the oven. There's just something magical about them, isn't it? So that's what we're making today. So let's look at what we need to do. First of all, I've got my oven. It's preheated to 180 degrees fan force. I've got my wok ready. I know it's a pasta bake. I'm using a wok because you can. It's easy to cook with. Now we're going to have a cup of green capsicum sliced. I've already cooked up my penne pasta, and in the recipe it says 2 cups like raw, and then follow the instructions on the packet to boil it so it's ready to go in the wok before we put it in the oven. So pre-cook your pasta first. We've also got a small onion. Now this is a large onion, so I'm only just going to use half of this onion. Sometimes it's hard to get small onions in the supermarket, isn't it? I've got 2 cups of mushrooms that'll go in. We've got some 97% fat-free ham here, and we need 125 grams. We've got some diced salt, no added salt, chopped tomatoes, cans. I've got the soup. It's a salt-reduced tomato soup. Tomato paste, no added salt. Look, this is all about health and well-being, isn't it? I've got some crushed garlic. Of course, it's a pizza base. You need garlic. You can use fresh if you wish. Now, the herbs are oregano, and basil, dried leaves. And I've got 1 1/4 or 125 grams of freshly grated reduced fat cheese and some cooking spray. And that's it. And parmesan, where's the parmesan? Here it is. And I'm using the Kraft parmesan to go in it as well. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start slicing away here. So let's do the capsicum. I say in the recipe to do green because there's a lot of red in it, so I want contrasting colours. Now you cut the capsicum into strips, so let's do that. Now, if you really aren't a fan of capsicum, you could swap this for sliced celery, okay? But I think pizza is all about onion, capsicum, mushrooms, and those tomato and herb flavours. So it's just a marriage made in heaven. And I love anything that starts with the word pizza. This is how I learnt when I was losing my weight to still have those beautiful flavours of, say, pizza. Let me get a measure cup. Without all that added fats that anything else related to pizza would be. So I want a cup of sliced. Yep, that looks good. Actually, I might use the little bit at the bottom too. Now, if you're using the bottom of what I do is I just slice it down because I don't want all that white stuff left over. And with the prices of veggies and that now, you want to use as much as you can of it. So I'm not going to waste that. There we go. Why not put that in as well? Okay, so we've got our capsicum. Let's do our onion. Now, as I said, this is a big onion. I only want half. So there we go. I'll put that aside and I'll use that in something else. Now we want sliced, so I'm going to cut it in half. Thinly slice it. And we cook this off first. Like, you know, everything's really pretty well cooked when you put it in the oven. But then you want to bake it. And what happens is then we get that beautiful melted cheese and everything happening as well. All right. So what I'm going to do is while that's cooking, I'm going to slice up the mushrooms. So let's do the Neo Flam. Always use the rice bran spray or any good quality cookware, non-stick cookware. That's what you use. And the reason is that some of the other ones, they have sugar in them, and this way, when you do that, it kind of, that's why things stick. Yeah, is because of the spray. I want a teaspoon of garlic, so let's chuck that in. So I'm going to multitask here. I'm going to do the garlic, put in the onion and the capsicum, and toss that together. Just going to cook that for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to do 2 cups. Let me get a 2-cup measure. Well, this is actually a 2.5 cup, but that's okay. Gosh, sometimes it's hard to see them, isn't it? I want 2 cups of sliced mushrooms. Try to get the smaller mushrooms if you can, because then all you just have to do is slice them. If you've got really big mushrooms, then maybe cut them in half and then slice. Don't forget to preheat your oven, because we're going to chuck it in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes once this is all ready. Let me give it a stir. I love the wok. Like, I love all the fry pans as well, but this is really makes cooking so easy because it doesn't stick. And that means it's easy and quick. All right, 2 cups. I think I might just do 1 more. There we go. In that goes. And then I've just got to slice up the ham. And then basically we kind of chuck everything in. So, of course, my theme for this year, as you know, is simple, easy, quick and fabulous. And so this is a great one. And I love bakes. I think they're fantastic. I'll just turn that down 1. Okay, so I've got my whole load of ham here, and so I'm going to just be very make the time work. I'm going to slice it through and then cut it into strips. You don't want them too thin because you want to be able to see it in the bake. There we go. And then you just have to break it up. Now, if you want the vegetarian version, so with the ham, it's 7.9 grams of fat. And the vegetarian one is to replace the ham with a cup of celery, and that's 7.4. All right, ham looking great. See how quick and easy that was? Let me just wash my hands. All right. Let's move that forward and bring this over. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add in all the ingredients. Now, with the cheese, you actually use a 1/2 cup in here and the rest goes on the top. So not to forget it, I measure it out first and put it on like that. So that way I know that I'm not going to accidentally put all of it in when I first start cooking. So in goes the tomato. And then you've got your soup. Perfect. Just mix that in. Now, this is one of those recipes that I think is so lovely to have as a work lunch, for example, because it freezes really well, and so you could portion it up. I also love it for easy lunches with a salad. I know it's winter, but I mean, salad's still nice, isn't it? And of course, it's great for a dinner too. 2 tablespoons of the tomato paste. I've got the 2 tablespoons of Kraft Parmy going in, and a teaspoon each of the dried basil. Oh, there we go. Nice and fresh. Do you do that when you're in the kitchen? Very hygienic, of course. Teaspoon of oregano. Let's give that a good mix in. The half a cup of cheese and all the ham. There we go. Look, it's so easy to make these recipes, but I reckon they've got a bit of a wow factor to them because they're just a bit different. I mean, you know, I'm not a big casserole stew person, even in winter. I don't know why. My mum never did cook them, so I think that's probably why I don't often have it in my thoughts. But this type of thing is amazing. I love it. We've got everything in it now except the cooked penne pasta. I like the penne for this because it's bigger than the macaroni, and so you can see it in the slices when you do it. Oh my gosh, look at this folding in, people. Oh, yum. I get excited about food like this. Healthy, fabulous. If you want to knock some kilos off over winter, then this is kind of the food you want to be eating. Because we do eat stodgier, heartier, more warming food in winter. So just be careful, because this is what can happen when you're looking at losing some weight. I'm just going to push that to the side over here. Let it just cook for a little bit. I'm going to tidy up my bench, and then we're going to put it into our lasagna dish. There we go, we've finished with that. Here we go. I've just got the cheese to go on. Let's put this in my soapy sink. Just cooking that off for a minute. Yeah, looking fabulous. Okay, now I've got my lasagna dish here. Now this serves 6, so I just want to show you, because I know sometimes people say, well, what size is your lasagna dish in it? So this is how you work it out. You get your ruler, 28 centimetres from the base, not from the top here, but the base, and 19. So that's 19 by 28. That's the lasagna. And this is going to serve 6, so you can see it's a good serve. All right, so I'm now going to pour this in. Oh, yes. I've got to scrape that out, because look at that beautiful sauce still sitting in there. I want a bit more of it. I mean, it was so easy to make, wasn't it? But look at this. This is dinner done for 6 people. So don't forget, your wok can be used for anything really like that. Anything that doesn't need a flat base to cook in. And because the glass lids are back now, you could even do your casseroles in it if you really wanted to, because we've got the glass lid. All right. Now the remainder of the cheese, which I always say freshly grated, because I'm not a fan of the pre-grated, because they don't melt as well. They put something in it so it doesn't clump together, and I think this is why I don't particularly like it, because I want it to melt, get golden brown and fabulous. And this is reduced fat cheese, of course. Look at that. All right, so we're going to put this uncovered in the oven, 180 degrees fan force, for 30 to 35 minutes. Let's put it in. I just put it in the middle of the oven. I'll put my timer on for 30 and see how it goes. All right. I didn't even get a sweater. That's how easy that was. All right, so I'm going to clean up, because, you know, I'm a messy cook. And then when the time is up, we'll come back and check out this fantastic recipe today. See you soon. Okay, my pizza pasta bake has just been sitting on the bench here for 5 minutes just to let it settle before I cut into it. So it took 35 minutes in my oven, and I'm going to now serve up a serve because like it serves 6. So I always go around the edge, make sure it's all not sticking. And then I'm going to go in and go down the middle because I want this to be 6 serves. Cut through that pasta. And then I'm going to do a 6. Yep, that looks good. There we are. Let's see how we go lifting it out. This is one of those ones that's really good if you make a day ahead. There we go. Love that. Oh, there's a bit left in here. Don't let them miss out. I'll put that on the side. So there is the fabulous pizza pasta bake out of book 4. Now, if you do like a pasta bake, I have 9 in total in the cookbooks. So there's this one, of course. Then you've also got the salmon bake in book 3. Then you've got creamy tuna bake in book 4, spaghetti bake in book 5, simple tuna bake book 6, and also in book 6 you've got the Mexican chicken bake, and in book 7 chicken, bacon, pasta bake, and in the more cooking with 2 you've got the Italian chicken bake. So if you like those ideas, go in further to the other books. Now if you would like to win a signed copy of this book today, I'm also going to give you something else for a bonus. So book 4 is the winning book this week, as well as a set of your spoons, my spoons. Tablespoon, teaspoon, they're adjustable, they are a must to have in the kitchen, and I love them. Just don't put them in the dishwasher, they have to be hand washed. So if you'd like to win these 2 gorgeous things, you've just got to like, share, and then in the comments, hashtag simply too good. Put that in and I'll pick 3 people to be picked, and hopefully it's you. Now next week, I'm actually going to make a recipe out of More Cooking 102 using the shake, and it's the vanilla pancakes. Now these are, I've got to say, the best pancakes you'll ever eat. I know, big statement. I'll prove you about it next week. And you're also going to be able to win some shakes as well as more cooking. So that's a great one to be watching, and hopefully you'll win there next week. So pancakes are easy, but this recipe is really unique and special, and I think you'll really enjoy it. So look, here we go. Who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? I mean, it is such an easy recipe, and it's easy to eat as well. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time and love your feedback. Anytime you want to write to me, just go to admin@simplytoogood.com.au and I'll be able to see what you want to let me know. Anyway, take care. I'll see you next week. Bye now.